Hey there, secret agents and super spies. It's Mr. C here from the Raspberry Pi Foundation. Not that you could tell because I'm incognito. And I'm here with my super secret agent partner in crime, Xavier, or Agent X. And he's received a special secret message from our contact in America, Agent 3.14. And we're going to write a program now in Scratch to show you how to decode that using a special Caesar cipher. Whew, that's a bit better. It was very hot in those coats, wasn't it? Yeah, very hot. So the first thing you need for any decoded message is the message itself. And so Xavier's got his letter here. So do you want to open your envelope and we can show everybody what the coded message looks like? So it looks a lot like gibberish right now, okay? So we can't really tell what it is. It's got a whole bunch of random letters and the number 7 on it. So that might be important a bit later. So we'll check that out. So let's pull that down. And the next thing we want to do is to start building our project. And the way we're going to do that, Zay, is you're going to make a bunch of variables to start with, okay? We're going to make a whole list of variables, and then we're going to make some code to plug those variables into. You ready? Okay, so we'll switch to our scene, and then I will pass it across to you so that everybody can see what you're driving. Here you go, man. You want to drive?
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Okay, so we start off with a very blank Scratch project. There's nothing in it. And Xavier's going to grab his when green flag click, which is always his first block to pop in. Fantastic. And then we're going to go to our variables list, Xavier. We're going to make a bunch of variables. So the first one I'd like you to make is called message. All right, M-E-S-S-A-G-E. A-G-E. And this one here is where we're going to store the message itself. Okay, so the coded message, when it comes in, we're going to save it and it's going to be called message, and then we're going to use Scratch to go through it a letter at a time and change them with our Caesar cipher. So the next variable I would like you to make is called key. So go back to your variables list and we want to make a new variable. I'm going to call this one key, K-E-Y. Oh, okay, we missed a letter, but that's okay. So you right click on that one and rename the variable and then put a Y on the end. Cool, and so the key, that's the number that we're going to swap the letters by in the alphabet. So if it's number 4, then we move all our letters 4 spaces across and then decipher it, right? So what do you think our key might be based on the number on our letter? What's our key probably going to be?
7.
Probably going to be 7, right? So that's cool. Agent 314 left that in for us, which is handy. Now make a new variable, make another one, and I want you to call this one, click make a variable, message position. So message, M-E-S-S-A-G-E.
Message.
And then a space, and then position. P-O-S-I-T-I-O-N. So I-T-I-O-N. Yeah, missed a couple, so go back one. That's it. T-I-O-N. T-I-O-N. Awesome, and hit enter. And so what this does is this works out what letter we're currently switching in our message, and then it will move along to the next one and move along to the next one. So the message position is the letter that Scratch is going to switch for us. Yeah? Cool. Another variable, please. Let's make a new one. I'm going to call this one plain text. So P-L-A-I-N, plain text. And this will be the answer. So when it spits out our decoded message, the plain text, P-L-A-I-N, T-E, XT.
T-E.
XT.
XT.
Cool, hit enter. So this is the message that's going to spit out for us that makes sense. We start with gibberish and we end up with a sensible message, and that's what our plain text will be. It's going to add those letters one at a time until plain text has our entire message. Cool. Another variable.
Variable.
Let's make this one called letter, L-E-T-T. E-R. Enter. Cool. And that's our letter, so that's got to work it out for us when it comes to the message. The next one we want is letter position. So make a new variable. Like I said, there's lots of variables in this one, so make a new variable. And this one's going to be called letter position. L-E-T-T-E-R. Letter in the right place. There we go. Awesome. Letter position. The next one I want you to make is called shift. Let's make a new variable called shift.
Yeah, there's lots.
There's lots, right? Make a variable, we'll call it shift. S-H-I-F-T. Cool, enter. And we're going to make another one. This is the last one, and it's going to be called shifted characters. Enter. Cool, so those are all the variables we need to make for our project. Next step is making the project itself. So now that we've got all our variables set up, we're going to have to do a little bit where we set up the code first, and then the second chunk of our project will be to actually iterate over the message and change it and work out what the real message is. So let's work on the setup chunk first. So the first thing it needs to do is ask us, well, what's the gibberish message you've got? So why don't you grab a sensing block, Xavier? We'll have it ask a question. So it's going to ask what's your name, but we don't want that. So drag that across, ask what's your name, click that to the bottom of your green flag, and change the word name for message. So I'll show you a trick. Click that. Now click on the word name. Just click it 2 times. Cool. And it selects the whole word. And you can just go, you can delete it now or type over the top. And we want it to be message. M-E-S-S-A-G-E. Very good. Hit enter. So he's going to ask us, what's your message? And wait for us to put the answer in. And we want it to save that answer as our message. So go across to variables.
Variables.
Yep. And you want set, see how it says set key to 0? Drag that one across and then change where it says key to message. That's it. Oh, message up one. That's it. And change that to answer. So go back to sensing.
Sensing?
Yep, and drag answer in. That's it, the little round loopy bubble one in the middle. That's fine. Plug that in where it says 0. So, what's your message? And it will wait. You can type your message and it will set it to answer. So in here, just type anything you want. Doesn't matter, just type something. Cool, hit enter, and it saves it. You see how it saves it as our message up here? Cool, that's working. So, duplicate your ask block. Right click on ask and duplicate that. No, ask, the next one up, the big blue one. On the whole, that's it, duplicate, and we'll click the whole thing to the bottom.
Okay.
Yep, and now we want it to ask, what's your key? So go to where it says message in your second ask, in that there, in here. Click on message, click on message 2 times. That's it, and change that to key, K-E-Y. Cool, and then underneath where it says set message to answer, pull that down and make it say key. Set key to answer. So we've just done the same thing, and it's asking us how many letters are you ciphering your alphabet by? How many letters are you shifting across in order to make that work? Fantastic. And so now we need it to go to the beginning of our message every time it starts. So go to variables again, and grab a set key to 0. Drag that across, and change key, yep. Change key, pull that down, and change it to message position. So where in our message position we want it to go to number 1. So change that to number 1. So set message position to 1. Cool, hit enter. And so that means that at the beginning of every time we click the green flag, it's going to go all the way back to number 1 in our message and start working from the start. And then our last one is we want it to set plain text. So grab another set, where it says set key to 0, grab that one across, clip it on the bottom, change key to plain text. Oh, up a bit, that's the one. They're in alphabet, that's it, plain text, and set that to nothing. So go 0 and delete it. We want it to be a blank hole. And hit enter. Cool. So what we've set up now is when we click the green flag, it's going to say, well, what's the message you've got? You put it in and it will save it like it has before. Then it's going to ask you, okay, so what's the key? How much are we shifting your alphabet by? And it's going to save that as well. Then it's going to go to the beginning of our message, and plain text is our answer. That's our message we're going to read at the end, and it's just going to set that to nothing. It's going to empty it like a blank page. Cool?
Yeah.
Cool. Sweet, we're on our way. Oof. Now the next thing we need to do is actually have it sort of decode our message, yeah? And this is where it starts to get a bit fiddly and tricky, isn't it? Yeah. So I'm going to let you drive, man. Here you go. So the first thing we want is we want a control block. We want a repeat until. So you see it down the bottom, it's our repeat block with the little gem-shaped hole in it. There it is, that's the one. Yeah. And we want it to repeat. So what we'll do is start at the beginning of our message and keep changing every letter until it gets to the end. So we need to help it work out where the end of the message is. So plug that one in. And then what we want is a greater than in our operators. We want the greater than one. So go to operators and grab greater than. That's this one.
So this one.
That's it. Drag it across and pop it in our hole there.
Okay.
Cool. And we want to grab a couple of different things now. So you'll see there's one here that says length of apple, which is down the bottom. You can plug that into the hole that says 50. Because we're going to have it check for the position until that position is greater than the length of our message, and then it knows it's finished. So let's go back to our variables. Orange menu, that's the one.
Variables.
And we want one that says length of message. Oh, sorry, position in message. Message position. Repeat until our message position. So the one in the middle, the long one, that's it. Repeat until message position in the first hole is greater than length of message. So grab our one that says message with the tick next to it. That's it. And drag it across. That's the one. And pop it into where it says apple. Apple. So repeat until the message position is more than the length of the message, and then we're done. So the first thing we want it to do is we need to do an if else. So if you're checking my message and there's a gap, that means we want a space. So if else, pop that in.
Yes.
Yep, that's the one. So if our letter in our message is empty, then we want it to put a space in our plain text as well. So let's grab an equals from our operators, an equals sign. That's the one, plug it in. So what we want to say is if our letter position of our message is equal to nothing, right? So delete that 50, let's get rid of it and make it nothing. Cool. And then we want an of. Can you see one that says of? Letter something of something. It's down the bottom, a letter 1 of Apple is what it says at the moment. Up a little bit. Letter 1 of Apple. That's it. Plug that into our first hole, good. And then where it says 1, we want to go back to our variables now. And we want position in message. So message position, our longest one, that's it. Plug that into the first hole. Yep. And then we want message in the next one. Or with a tick next to it.
Message.
Cool. So if our letter in this position we're currently on of our message is empty, then add a space in our one. So we want set plain text. So you see it says set key. Drag set key to 0 across. Pop that in our if. Cool. Pull down the menu and make sure that it doesn't say key. We want it to say plain text. And then we want a join block. So go to our operators. And you'll see one that says join apple banana. That's it. Plug that in 0. Cool. And then in our first hole where it says join apple banana, instead of apple, we want it to have our plain text variable. So go to variables. And plain text, on with the tick next to it, the last one with the tick.
Plain.
Into apple. And then where it says banana, get rid of everything. So we want it to join a space onto what it says our plain text should be. Yep. And then we want our change key by 1. We want it to say change message position by 1.
Here?
Yep. Change message position by 1.
Position.
Awesome. So what we've got now is going to repeat until the end of our message. It's going to check in our message to see if the letter we're currently on is a space. And if it is, it's going to add a space to our message. Cool? So we've got our bit of code here that checks our message from the beginning. And if it finds a space in our message instead of a letter, it puts a space in our answer, right? In our plain text. So if it doesn't find a space, it needs to work with the other 26 letters of the alphabet. So we need to now add them into a list. Yeah, so let's make a list and you can call it alphabet. Cool, enter.
It's like alphabet aerobics.
Yeah, like alphabet aerobics, nice. And so now we have our list called alphabet, right? So we've got our alphabet here, and that's what we're going to do. So we're going to look at our alphabet so we can add all the letters of the alphabet. Ready? Like, I'll do it real quick.
That's it.
Cool.
That's
So
quick.
that's our whole alphabet. Look, we've got all 26 letters of the alphabet. I told you I'd add it quick, right? And then we can hide our list away so that it's not there. All right?
Yeah.
So now that we've got our alphabet set into a list called alphabet, we can move on a bit. So grab our set key. So up here, go back to our variables. There you go. So once it says set key, drag that across and plug it in and change where it says key to letter. So plug that in. Yep. Pull that down, make it say letter. Oh, that's letter position. We just want it to say letter.
Letter.
Cool. And now go to our operators, and we want the one that says letter 1 in Apple. So your green operators menu. You see one down the bottom says letter 1 of Apple.
Here?
Yeah, that's the one. Plug it in where it says 0. Cool. And back to our variables.
Yeah. Variables.
And we want that says message position into where the number 1 is. That's the one.
Position.
And then we want message in under where it says Apple. So one with the tick next to it. That's it.
Yeah.
Cool. So set your letter to our position of our message. Yeah. Next one, we want our set key. Drag it across.
Set key.
Yep. Pull down key and make it say letter position.
Letter position.
Yeah. So set our letter position to. Now let's go to our list, which is down a little bit. Scroll down a little bit, and you'll see item number something. Go up. There it is. Item number 1 of alphabet. Plug that in.
Here?
Yeah.
Oh no. Here.
Yeah. And then go roll up back to your variables, and we want it to say a letter in alphabet. Item letter in alphabet. So that's the second one you got in your list of variables there. Letter. Yep. Plug that in. So set letter position to the item, which is that letter of alphabet. Yeah. Cool. And then the next part we want it to set again. So grab another set key.
Okay.
Yep.
Here.
And yeah, drop key down and make it say shift. So this is how much it's going to shift our alphabet by. This is how much our cipher is going to change the letters. Awesome, well done. Set shift to. Now what we want is a number. So go to operators, your green ones, and you'll see one that says mod. There's one that should say mod. Roll down a little bit. We want our mod. See that one in the middle there? 2 holes in the middle and mod. That's it. That's a modulo, right? So that divides things and takes away the remainder. Yeah, so we can use that to find out if numbers are even or odd and things like that. So we want a minus sign now as well. So you find there in your operators, you can scroll up here and grab a minus and plug that into your first hole.
Minus?
Yep, into that first hole of your modulo. Awesome, very good. And now that one there, we need that one to be our letter position. So back to your variables. This is quite complicated, isn't it, this one? Yeah. So grab letter position. Third one from the top, that's it. Put that in the first hole. And then the one that says key, that's the top one. Pop that into the second hole. And then mod, inside that hole there, type 26, because that's how many letters there are in the alphabet. Hang on a sec, you missed the hole. There you go, man, 26.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so now that we know how much our shift is, it's going to change the number by the amount of the key, right? So our letter position minus the number we put in, based around 26 letters of our alphabet, yeah?
Take away, that would be the easier one for you.
Exactly, right? So it takes away the number that we put in as the key. It moves those letters along the alphabet that many places. Now the next part is we want to set. So set, where it says set key, drag another one in. And we want this one, pull down our key menu. We don't want it to say key. We want it to say shifted character.
Where did I put this one?
I don't know, where'd that one come from? We don't need to get rid of it. So sheet, so that one there, so not sheet, key. Shifted card for character. Cool. Now we need to get to our list as well. We want item something of alphabet. So scroll down a little bit and you'll see item. That's it, you're perfect on it. Item 1 of alphabet, plug that in, and then roll back up to our variables, and we want item shift of alphabet. So it's the shortest one. That's it, shift. Up one, that one. Plug that into number.
Key is the shortest.
Thank you, it is the shortest, you're right. Shift of alphabet, fantastic, right? And so that then finds what the letter in the position of the shift in the alphabet and sets it as our shifted character. And then we want to take our shifted character, so go to set key, drag another one. Down a bit. That one. Plug that on the bottom. And we want to pull down key and change that to plain text. So we're going to change our plain text. So that's our message, right? And we want to have a join. So we're going to take whatever it was before and we're going to add our shifted character onto our message. And it's going to keep doing that for us. So go to the green ones and get a join. So operators and join.
Operators and...
Join apple banana.
No, apple banana.
Yeah. And now go back to your variables. Good. And grab plain text, the third one with the tick in the first hole. And then where it says banana, put shifted character. That's it. And it's going to add the new letter. It's going to work out what the weird letter is. It's going to change our cipher so it finds a new letter and add that new letter to the end of our message because that will be the real letter that we want. Now the next one, this one's real easy. Go for change key by 1.
Change key by 1.
Yep, pop that in underneath.
Here?
Yep, pull down key and make it say position in message or message position. Fantastic. And so now that's it. What it's going to do is it's going to set our letter. It's going to find out what letter it should be and add that to our answer message and then do that again and do that again and keep doing it and doing it. But what's the last thing we need it to do? Once it's worked out what our message should be, what's it got to tell us? So how do we get it to tell us? We use a say block or a think block. What do you reckon? Which one? Say or think? Say. All right. So let's go to looks. And at the very, very end of your script, so now you want to say something for 2 seconds, say hello, grab right on the end, right on the very, very end.
Here?
Yeah, and we want to say it for 5 seconds, I think.
Say what?
We're going to drag a variable in there, so go to your variables and drag plain text into that hole. So across to your variables menu, one that says plain text, the last one to tick, that's it in the first hole, and make him say it for 5 seconds. Cool. And that should do it, man. Right, what's your message? So let's have a look. You ready? Let's test out our message and see what our secret agent friend from America sent us.
Why?
Yeah, and then it's going to hit enter. What is your key?
Oh, 7.
7.
Capital?
No, it doesn't need to be just a number yet. Hit enter. Plain text comes out really weird. I wonder why it did that. Let's find out and see what we did wrong. We need to change a couple of things in our code. So first of all, our letter position should be an item number. Alright, so let's go to our list and make that item number of letter in alphabet. Yeah? We can get rid of that. And then the next thing we need to have is this is nothing and it should be a space. That should now work. Let's see. Look under. Ready? Let's test the rest of our code. Enter. And what's our cipher? What's our key number?
7.
Hit enter.
Look under your chair.
Look under your chair. There must be a secret message hidden there.
Yeah.
Pull it out. What is it?
Map.
A treasure map. Let's go. Let's go now. Quick, 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 quick. Hey Digital Makers, we hope you had a good time with our project this week making a Caesar cipher. I know Xavier and I had loads of fun doing it. We know it's a technical project this week, so don't be disheartened if you found it a bit tricky. Keep having a go and keep making cool stuff. Remember, there's always new content available for you each week with Digital Making at Home at rpf.io/home, and share your work with us. We'd love to see the projects you make and the things that you come up with. So keep making awesome stuff and we'll see you next week. Catch you later. Bye.